listening to WMNHLP, Manchester's radio, broadcasting at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 1045 Elm Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Contact us by email at WMNH953@gmail.com or through our website at WMNHradio.org.
Hey everybody, it's that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon. We're live on WMNH 95.3 in downtown Manchester. Welcome. (603-250-6007) is the number to call. 603-250-6007. And of course, it's Friday, June 9th, 2017, here at WMNH. And with me, well, John Hopwood is here. He's kind of playing roadie. I'll explain that in a moment. How are you, John?
Fine, Matt.
And Kay Daver is here. Hip-hop artist Kay Daver. How are you? Well, hang on. I'm sorry. Say that again.
I'm doing good. How are you, man?
There we go. And you brought a couple of friends with you.
Yes, sir. Brought a couple people from my label. We got Kinetic and Ironclad with us in the house.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, Kinetic. I remember you.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long time.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, it's good to see you. And you are Ironclad?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ironclad with the big beard. And Kay Daver, what's going on? Get us caught up. Who are you? Who is Kay Daver, if that is your real name?
K Daver is the man, the myth, the legend, the 603 king, everything your mother ever wanted in a man. But no, seriously, man.
My mother's married. But I don't know how happy she is, so we might be able to make something happen.
Oh, don't get him started.
Oh, here we go. Round one, fight.
Nah, man, it's been crazy. I don't know when the last time we talked was, but just stuff's been really picking up, man. It's been really cool, and I feel really blessed by the universe for all the things that have been happening. We did the 4-5 tour this April with Scum and Liquid Assassin when we went through the Midwest, and you know, they were markets we never hit before. So basically, we've been pretty spoiled in the sense, you know, we do shows New York, New Hampshire, you know, around here, and people know us, and that's definitely a cool feeling. But you know, I'm looking at this and I say it's time to fly, man. You know, it's time to spread the wings. So let's go out and let's do things we haven't done yet. So we went out to the Midwest, we kicked it off, and you know, it was a new old feeling. You know what I mean? It was like the old feeling of having to win people over, but it was a new feeling because I haven't had it in a while. So we got all these new fans, people that want to support us, and I'm telling you right now, man, next time I swing through the Midwest, it's gonna be monstrous. It's gonna be monstrous. Matter of fact, July 7th, I will be in Kokomo, Indiana, and we got more dates building around that. And shout out to Front Row Live and all the promoters getting behind Kay Daver and truly believing in the product.
Sounds like you're in a really good place with it, and I say that because, you know, in the past, you know, because I've known you for, what, probably 10 years now, maybe?
I was going to say probably 5 or 6. But
No, it's been more than that, dude.
no way.
It definitely has been, yeah. Because first time I ever interviewed you, actually it was down the street at the, remember the hair salon, where we used to do that show? That
wasn't 10 years ago.
That was close.
No
Hair
way.
salon.
No
It's
way.
been a long time. But you, I mean, you've had some ups and downs in that, you know, there's been periods of time where, you know, you kind of, you know, you were kind of chill on the whole thing because you know, it's a challenge, right? What you do is a challenge being an independent artist. And you know, the show that I do here, we focus a lot on politics, but I also like to support local music with this program because there's so much talent around here in New Hampshire alone. There's just so much great talent that a lot of people don't even know. They don't get to hear. It doesn't get exposed. and it's very, very difficult. I know you've tried to work with some other artists in the past. You had a label at one point trying to help other artists. So it's a grind. So you've really, but you've persevered, and it sounds like you're in a really good place with it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it for sure, man. Grind is probably the best word it is. A lot of ups and downs, because really it's like in the past, tried bringing artists on, and like artists that aren't familiar with the business really don't get it. You know, like they don't. Everyone wants. I think you said it, and you said everyone would be a rock star if it was easier. Is that what you said?
But my exact. I do have an axiom like that. Yeah, I've always said everyone wants to be a rock star, but only as long as it's easy.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like there's so many artists out right now. It's like you got to be different. And not only different, like you got to grind. I know artists that are extremely talented, and they will never get over. And and it's not because they don't have what it takes. On a talent level, they don't have what it takes on a mental maturity level to understand that this is a business, and it really doesn't matter how talented you are if you're not out there grinding and hustling and willing to put in that work. You know, for instance, to revert back a little bit, to go back to this tour, the first night, you know what I mean? The first night, I don't know, Connect. How many think we're in Denver? 150?
Yeah, 150, 200,
maybe.
something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's like I never had to hustle like that in years, you know what I mean? So it's like, boom, you can ask Kinetic, a light switch went off, and it was like, oh, we got towards the end of the show, and I'm like, hey, it's grind mode.
Yeah.
You know, we were at like, I don't know, $70, $80 of merch. I'm like, dude, we gotta crank this out. Boom, boom, hand to hand. But that's something artists don't do. Like, they're not willing. Matter of fact, there was an artist who did a show with Tech 9 was in Denver, Colorado, the same night we were in Colorado.
Yeah.
And an artist who just did 4,900 people, I think it was, with Tech 9 came out to see our show.
Yeah.
And I went outside hand to hand with him, and he goes, no artists do this anymore. Artists aren't willing to put in that grind. I said, I'm 3,000 miles from home. I don't have an option.
You should probably clarify, when you say you went out hand to hand, you don't mean you were fighting.
I mean, if I had to, but no.
There were no fisticuffs, right?
Literally fighting for that every record sale. That's how much it meant.
Chasing them with a stick.
2 for 10 right now.
You do what you got to do, right?
Cough it up, boy.
Nah, man, it was like it was hand to hand. You know what I mean? Because again, it's a blessing for people to know who we are in this area, in certain areas. But it also makes you soft, because it makes you forget what you have to do. So they come up to the merch booth, you know what I mean, exchanging without you having to work. You know, you work on stage,
right?
You know what I mean? But it's like, boom, they already know you. But when they don't know you, you have to be out there with your flyers and CDs and stuff like that. And a lot of that is quote unquote beneath artists, you know. And it's like I don't, you know what I mean? With it,
right?
I don't get it, but
Nobody wants to grind if it's not on Facebook.
Oh.
Facebook gangsters, man. You should see these kids.
Now, are you all on the tour? All three of you? Or?
Me and Daver went out, and then Ironclad, he was here, but we were just on that tour. We went on the 4-5 tour with Scum and LSP.
Kinetic. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
Kinetic's my hype man.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. So he always rolls with me to like whatever show I'm doing or this that.
Kinetic, back me up on this. It's been as far as the time. I'm right, aren't I?
It's been like a long time. It's been at least 7 or 8 years.
No, it's been like 6. I'm telling you right now.
There's no way.
I don't know,
I'm telling you right.
There's no way.
Y'all tripping.
It's been a minute.
It's been a long time.
I have drank a lot since then, so I could be wrong about a lot.
Well, there you go. All right then. Now, when you guys tour, do you need any help? Because I don't know if you noticed, but Mr. Hopwood over here, if you need a roadie, you guys walked in and he was right on it.
Yeah,
my bad back.
You set
two
up the mics
hernias.
and everything.
You didn't move like a man with a bad back, John Hopwood. You moved like a young 20-something ready to take on the world roadie.
If only I could be. Yeah, let's not get into that.
Just got to set up some mics, get them some groupies
Those
for later.
long days in the van might take a toll on your back. Though.
Oh, yeah.
Some long drives out there.
I used to have a 69 Cadillac, and I'm so short. I used to be able to sleep in the thing. But,
You
my
could be
God.
8 feet tall and sleep in a 69 Cadillac.
It's true.
There you go. So Ironclad, I'm meeting you for the first time. What's your story?
Well, I've been working with Daver here for Oh boy, I don't even know how long it's been.
Now that's over 10 years.
Yeah,
That's over 10
definitely
years.
Really? Yeah.
yeah, I've been in the background.
That was my original hype man. For anyone that doesn't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding.
This was
Okay.
actually my original partner as well. Me and him were in a music group about 10 years ago, and that's how I started rapping. I started rapping with him.
Oh, no kidding.
Can I
Yeah.
ask
Oh, wow.
where are you guys from? You know, where are you
I'm from Franklin. He's
Okay.
from Franklin, and Daver's from Ashland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. New Hampshire boys.
Yeah.
Random
sir.
staters.
Yeah. Yeah. See, so you guys were in a group together, and then what happened?
Oh, well,
I'm always looking for the dirt.
you want the honest truth, man? I didn't have any work ethic.
And
if
crack
you want, if
addiction.
you want me to eat. Oh yeah, that's it. I didn't have any work ethic.
Yeah.
It took me a really long time to grow up, you know.
Yeah.
And as Davis said
He's the
before,
baby of the group.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, this is a business. Oh, don't get me started here, sweetheart. This is a business, and it's very hard because I was a very idealistic kid.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very, very hard for an idealistic person to kind of accept some of the nuances of the industry.
Sure. Sure.
So I you know, kicking and screaming like a little. Anyway, so you know, over time, you know, I came and went, and then me and Daver sat down. We had a heart-to-heart years ago. You know, and I just kind of hate to say, I just grew up.
Yeah.
You know, and I became humble.
Yeah.
You know, and realized that there was work that needed to be done. We did it. Me and Kinetic were in a group, and it was, what's the word? Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and that's you know, and we had fun while we were doing it, but again, you know, I wasn't treating it in the way that it needed to be treated.
Right, right.
And because of that, it ended up falling through. So
Yeah.
over time, I've bombed in and out, and now I'm back. I've been back for a while now, and we're just kind of trucking on through it, you know?
Yeah.
Putting in that real work.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Cool. Cadaver, you texted me that you had a lot to say.
Yes, sir. Let's get it in.
So I'm curious.
Where do you want to start?
Wherever you want to start, sir. I'm gonna turn it over to you. You tell us what's on your mind. Express your feelings. This show is all about feelings.
Oh God, man, you don't want to hear that.
Feelings,
Come on.
nothing more than feelings. You guys remember that song? Probably not.
Nope.
You're all younger than
Barry
me.
Manilow's coming to town.
Barry Manilow.
Yeah,
Barry Manilow's
yep.
going to be here.
He's going to be here next week, right here in the studio.
Are you kidding me? Or are you serious?
I'm completely kidding,
Okay, word.
but I would interview
I was
him.
gonna say I would have shown up and tried to sell a CD. I mean,
Right.
you can't ever have too many connections in this industry.
I would like to see him up
Barry
close
Manilow
because
on a hook.
yeah,
he's had a lot of plastic surgery, so I'm curious to see what that looks like up front. You know, right up close.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Probably looks expensive, but
probably.
looks like
Yeah,
Joan Rivers.
he does. I mean, you can always. I don't know why celebrities do it because you can always tell.
Yeah,
they end
like,
up looking worse. They don't
it's not
look
a
better.
good look.
They
No.
should just paper mache money onto their face. I
Right.
think that would be more accurate.
Yeah. All right, Cadaver, go ahead. The floor is yours.
oh yeah, man. I mean, basically, I don't know, man. Life's just been it's been a crazy process. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna revert a little bit back, and then we'll go forward, man. And basically, you know, the project that I have coming out now is called 12 Steps to Recovery, and you know, basically, it's a song a week for 12 weeks.
Oh,
I'm doing something different. Like through my whole career, I've always built up CDs. You know what I mean? Because that's like what I'm into or whatever. But
yeah.
you know, in 2017, who's sitting down listening to a CD? Like, I don't even sit down and listen to CDs anymore. Like, do you have time? Like, I would tend to think not.
Right, right.
So anyway, you get a song a week, and basically 12 Steps to Recovery is like, you know what I mean? Subject matter, it's 12 Steps to Recovery. Like, I never want to classify myself as an addict. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm definitely not an addict or anything like that. But I mean, I definitely have demons that I got to shake off and work through. And, you know, that's what you're getting in this project, you know? And, you know, basically through life, it's been a pretty crazy process, man, because there was times, even fairly recently, and even though like what sparked me to feel that way probably isn't what was eating me, but as of recently, I was about to commit suicide.
No
you
kidding.
know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's like, I don't know. I tend to think I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? But I feel like recently it was the closest I've ever been.
Wow.
And I think what sparked me to feel that way wasn't even really the reason I felt that way. I think what inside of me is really messed up. And if you really want to talk about feelings or whatever, I ain't here to get all sappy, but like I think something in my brain is blocking me from feeling love. You know what I mean? So like I never feel loved. You know what I mean? And it's like it doesn't matter if I'm with someone without. It doesn't even matter. Like it doesn't even matter in the circumstances. But and then so we go on this tour. We have a lot of success, and we're building these connections. You know, we do this show fairly recently with Twisted, and you know their whole crew is talking to us, and their crew is telling me I'm one of the hardest workers they've ever seen. And one of the, shout out to G-Mo Ski. I don't know if I can drop the whole phrase, but basically he came up to me and said, K-Dav, or everyone's talking about you.
Yeah.
And it's like that was a crazy feeling. And then it just like everything kind of hit me at one time. It's like I think I'm literally chasing a high, and like nothing will ever make me happy because if it gets to the point where I'm doing 300 shows a year, I think each show is just a sprint from my inner self.
I think that's true for a lot of creative people. And I can kind of relate to what you mean. So, I mean, is it you? So you've never felt truly happy? Is that what you're saying?
Well, see, I have,
or what you think happiness is supposed to be.
But it's never withstood.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's never sustained. Like,
yeah,
I've grabbed lightning in a bottle. Like yesterday, I was crazy happy for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. I got sparked, boom, 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 and then it's like I came right back down. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what it is. I don't think it's any type of. I don't know. I can't even explain it.
But it's not. You didn't use the word, but I'll put the word. At least I don't think you did. Depression.
Yeah, I don't even like using that word. It makes you feel weak. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, no, it doesn't. Not. It's 2017.
Well,
it did.
2017. Everyone's using it.
No, I get what.
17
well, I get what you mean though.
2017.
I get what you mean because I've had a lifelong struggle with depression, and it was only until it's pretty common, but it was only until a couple of years ago that I would admit it publicly. I never wanted to admit that it was a problem that I had. So I get what you mean by that.
People do look at you differently, and not only but there's such a. You have some people who they don't understand
right
a chemical imbalance like that. Just because you can't see the illness doesn't mean that it's not there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, not only that, but they don't understand. Someone who's never been depressed, or at least never. I mean, well, everyone gets
clinically
depressed.
Yeah, doesn't battle with it on a daily basis.
Right. They can't understand it because to them, it's like, well, why would you want to be sad, especially if everything's going well? Why would you want to be sad? So they don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. I mean, everyone's gotten depressed if something, if they go through a tragedy or whatever, but if they've never been clinically depressed, to them it doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to be sad if everything's good? Why would, I've heard people say it a million times, why would Kurt Cobain from Nirvana have shot himself when everything was going so well? He was a rock star. He had the perfect life, But people who've never experienced clinical depression, they don't get it. And it's, like I said, it's not their fault, but depression doesn't care if you have a reason.
I don't know if I believe he actually killed himself. But without delving into a conspiracy theory, let's just say he did kill himself. I can tell you this right now, and it revolves around what I just said. The zeros are different. All right, so I'll never have an album as hot as Smells Like, or what was this? Nevermind. I'll never have I'll never have a record that hot. It's insane. 2017, that don't even happen.
Right.
But
no, it doesn't.
But what happened is, in my mind, he was at the apex of his career. And he was lonelier than ever. What do you do at that point? Mm-hmm. Because right now, the thing that kept me going a bunch of years is, well, all right, if I get more fans, all right, if I do more touring, if I do more of this, and it's just a literal cycle. And I see those in front of me, right? I see those in front of me dealing with the same issues, and I think they're dealing with the same thing. It's like, because they're at a level to where they're, bigger than I am, and they're trying to reach and you look up the ladder, and without saying no names, but there's a guy, right, who basically created the scene. He created the scene by all intents and purposes. And this man's life is spiraling. You know what I mean? He's he's a drug addict now, and his label's falling apart, this, that, whatever. And it's like everyone's making fun of this man right now, and my dealings with him in life haven't been positive, because I don't really respect the way I was treated or whatever.
Yeah.
But I look at it and I say I can relate the exact same way, because you're spiraling right now, and it's like you're at the apex. You're at the apex. There's nowhere else to go.
Right.
You got nothing. You're platinum.
Yeah.
You're platinum. You're a millionaire. You know what I mean? It's like you're lonelier than ever because you never truly knew how to be happy in your inner self.
You know, I have an interesting story. First of all, I'm clinically diagnosed with PTSD, and people will say to you, "No, you don't have PTSD." That just seems to be part of the human condition. You
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I have clinical depression." No, you don't. And these are people like,
You don't look depressed right
Yeah.
now.
and
Make me slap you in the face.
I can honestly say, and I try to use this when I lived in California. I could use it as a come on line in California, but not so successful in New Hampshire. I'd say my guru was on the cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Sorry to bring it up, Matt. He's not a fan of Sgt. Pepper.
No.
Which is true, because my guru was the guru of George Harrison. And Harrison, how much more famous can you get?
Yeah.
How much, fantastically rich. That was Paramahansa Yogananda, and they have the Self-Realization Fellowship. And Pacific Palisades, California. He used to come all the time to talk to the head of the SRF, because it does what you're talking about, the success, even being fulfilled in a creative way. It's something in the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
He still was searching for answers, and he would come until he died. He would come all the time looking for what would you call it? Truth.
Something deeper.
Yeah.
Fulfillment.
You know?
Yeah.
Fulfillment.
Some people call it God. Some people call it drugs. Some people call it shopping. Some people call it cheeseburgers. Man, we're all chasing something. We're all looking for something to fill the hole inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Think of the difference between him and Lennon, because John Lennon took acid every day, for a long time, and then heroin.
If only I
every
could deal
night.
with my problems that
Right.
way.
And there's a guy, except for Dylan, he was it, in
Yeah.
I don't think he found happiness either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe we can't.
Sometimes I feel like Michael Douglas from Falling Down. You ever seen
Oh,
that?
geez,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a great movie.
Great film. Yeah.
Don't go postal.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. But yeah, so do you feel like you have made progress in that area?
Yeah. But here's the thing. It's like, it's a loop. You know what I mean? Because when I reach my highest of highs, it's always followed by my lowest lows. So like right now, I'm out of it. You know what I mean? And I'm coming back up. But in my head, I know it's going to come back, and I just have to be able to handle it when it comes back, and like whatever. And that's basically what 12 Steps to Recovery revolves around, man. It revolves around all my vices. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Alcohol, pills, women, music,
lot of alcohol.
success.
An absurd amount of alcohol.
Norman will be addicted to women.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Here's the biggest problem about that. Like, I'm attracted, and they can probably contest to this, and I'm attracted to like the most bad women, broken women you can find.
Earth. On
Oh yeah.
Earth.
Yeah,
On
baby.
Earth.
Like straight up, like physically attractive, but like something like it's almost like I have to find someone as mentally wrong as I am, so I don't feel like I corrupted them.
That's normal.
There
That's
you
so
go.
normal.
And here comes Dr. Jack Daniels to come save the day.
Right. Yeah.
Anybody can ride a tame horse, right? Get on that bucking bronc and see who you are.
Yeah, like normal women. There's two trains of thought. Normal women are typically turned off by me because what I've done, and like I don't hide who I am. I always live my truth.
Sure.
But even if even if they're okay with that, and we go further, they bore me. It's like they start talking there, and at my age, it's crazy because like girls my age, a lot of them have kids. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I find the ones that don't have kids now. It's like a matter of 2 dates, and it's like a kid reference, and I'm like, whoa.
No kidding. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like weird because I have no interest into like a big house, white picket fence, wife, kids, and a dog or whatever.
Right.
Oh, there's I'll tell you about a song about that later. It's called Albert Hammond, who was a big thing in the early 70s. He has a song exactly like that. I doubt you have it on the rack, though. So
Yeah, I doubt it too. I've never even heard
he
of
gives up.
I
Yeah,
doubt it too.
because you're not. Well, I was 12 or 13 years old.
Yeah.
It was a top 10 hit in 1972.
No,
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I can relate because I've never wanted any of that either. Like I have no paternal instinct whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I've never wanted the what some would describe as the quote unquote American dream.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the wife and the kids and the house, and I've never wanted any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've kind of caved in on like the wife thing. Like I never really wanted a wife, and I don't really believe in marriage.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would ever go full legal. You know what I mean? But as far as
Yeah.
like a cool ceremony or whatever to say it's, like, but I don't know. It is what it is. Like, it's crazy. I'm not gonna really go too far into this, but as of recently, like this is how I'm spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I put these things out to God, and sometimes they come to me, and like it doesn't always come to me like the way I thought it would. So I was kicking it with Kinetic one day, and I said, "Yo, Kinetic, I'm telling you right now, I'm just gonna rock these roads, and I'm not even like looking for a relationship unless the girl is this. I laid a lengthy list, man.
Yeah.
I told him this ain't Build a Bitch Workshop.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Live radio.
My bad. Oh,
No,
my
it's
bad.
okay. That's all right. You can get away with that one.
So we're here anyway. Yeah. So y'all heard it. There we are, and it's like, and I'm not joking, man. What? 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, this girl like comes into my life. Like we've been friends for like years. You know what I mean? And I took her out for her birthday, literally just as friends. Like I'm totally chill with that. And then I was kicking it with her, and I'm like, man, this girl's like, I think this girl's it. And she met all the requirements of the list. And
No kidding.
And I'm not gonna say her name to like, you know what I mean, whatever. But her name was that of what would make you think this is it. You know what I mean?
No kidding.
Like
Destiny? Hey, I'm just guessing.
You really, really, really need to like lighten up your hint a little bit, bro.
Yeah, dude. That was
so. Anyway, long story short. Well,
no kidding, huh?
I don't care about my personal business. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about my personal business. I'm an open book, but like, you know, it's a small scene, and I didn't really want to put her out there like that. But now that she's out there,
You should have.
sucks to be you.
Yeah,
So,
Pick something more vague, like it rhymes with destiny, something like that. You know, that'll throw people.
That does seem slightly more vague than what he is.
Right,
Yeah. All right.
and it was
I'll buy
weird too because this girl was, you know what I mean? She's like everything I thought. You know what I mean? Someone I could be honest with, open with, kick it with. You know what I mean? She said if I'm on tour for like 3 weeks. And like, as long as I can call her up and promise her that, you know what I mean, there's no emotional attachment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
I can do my business. I'm like, yeah,
Ooh.
that's cool. You know what I mean? Because that's what I need. Because when I'm on the road, it's not like I want to cheat or anything like that. But you're around all these, you know, people who want to have fun. You're doing, you know, extras.
Rockstar stuff.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
Extras. I like that.
trying to keep it PG.
That's
for your
the
radio.
ultimate euphemism. You know, extras. You know.
And like whatever, whoop-de-whoop, you know what I'm saying? And like she's been seeing this guy for a while, and they broke up, and we went out as friends. So like I didn't, you know, it was whether they were together or not. I didn't really inquire about it until we were like towards the end of this, and she's like, yeah, we broke up, and like yada yada. And it was like, all right, whatever. And then so me and her start talking, and like I told her how I feel, and she kind of backed off a little bit. I'm like, all right, cool, we can still be friends. Didn't mean to push it. And then she chased me, hit me up saying I'm her other half. You know what I mean? She's never met a guy like me, and
Wow.
every time I talk to her, heart flutters, this, that, the whatever. And so then I move a little forward, she moves a little back. Then I move back. It was like a weird like cat and mouse game. And it finally got to the point I just had to tell her, I'm like, look, I can't, like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but like you seriously have to ask God, because it's like you're telling me you want this, but you're scared. Like I don't know, I don't live like. So it actually, long story short, what I'm trying to get to is what I thought was gold. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Turned out to be
Coal
or something. Like I'm not trying to dog her as a person, no way, shape,
Right,
or form.
right.
I'm not here to get salty on nobody. But it's
No.
like
We love you, Destiny.
Or Estony?
or Destiny.
Estony.
Yeah.
Esther.
her
Not
man.
Esther.
Yo, what's funny is her man's probably listening to this right now. Like, oh, you said nothing was going on.
Oh no.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to put the business out there like that.
Right. Good job avoiding that.
No, real talk. She hit me up, all this stuff, yada yada. So that
Yeah.
I had to cut it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's like, which is cool, kind of being like, and that's self-control. So this is what really 12 Steps to Recovery comes down to, is like my addictions and my chases and this and that. I wasn't in control of my emotions. I let my emotions, and emotions aren't logical. You know what I mean? So I let my emotions eat me alive on something I really shouldn't have been eating about. You know what I mean? I should have just
Right.
moved on with my business or whatever. And, you know, it is what it is. So that's the maturation process, because it's, to be in this game, you have to be a master of Zen, because everyone is eating at you. And it's like, if you're to let just some female eat at you, and it wasn't even that long or whatnot, but you know what I mean? It was like, if
Yeah.
I'm going to let myself get eaten for that, I ain't going to survive this industry. You're in an industry of sharks that are literally, the same dude shaking your hand smiling is just looking for you to slip up so he can take your spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most insane. It's the most insane jungle you could ever be in.
The sound recording industry's beyond, because I used to write about entertainment, the movie industry. I was in California. So I told Matt, the sound recording industry, it's the only industry that theft is really legal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, no seven.
Legal, it's encouraged.
A lot of creative math and
Well, there's creative math in every entertainment industry,
Yeah.
even books, movies. But there's no 7-year contract. You can't even be held to that. You know, we were talking about Prince and his contract with Warner Brothers. They're the only industry for some reason that thieving is legal.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Legal, encouraged, paid for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
endorsed.
Yeah.
I mean, I can come up with a list of vocabulary words for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So how have you so in such a tough industry, how have you been able to do what you're doing now? I mean, you're breaking through, you know, you're going out and touring and
I think I'm just so hard-headed, and I'm so hard-headed. I don't know. This isn't logical. Like, so we go back to logically, you wouldn't try to be a rapper. Like, you just wouldn't even do it. So, like, I'm not a logical person in that sense. And when I want something, I go for it.
right.
You know, and I think that's literally it. And I don't think it isn't talent. Like, I think I'm good at what I do, and I think I'm talented, and I think I have a good niche. But, like, I think it's literally just my perseverance, and it's my willingness not to lose.
Right.
Like, we went out the other weekend, right? Me and these fellas, and we made a little bet. And
here we go.
homeboy over here said I'd quit after 5 minutes, and Kinetic said that I'd get in 3. But fact of the matter is, I wasn't even mad at what he said necessarily. I was mad. I don't quit. You guys know me for 10 years, and when have I known to quit? So you asked how, or what your question was, why or how? Like, it's just I don't quit, and that's literally what it is. So when I want something, I get it.
Well, hang on. What was the bet?
No, we're not even gonna get into that.
You sure?
Oh, what a tease. I'm curious now. Does it involve extras of some kind?
No, basically it was just a simple bet.
50-50.
We were out drinking one night. We pull up to the gas station, whatever, and I'm just being drunk and stupid. And I look at these guys. I'm like, "Hey, man, if there's a girl working, how much you want to bet?" I walk in there, get a number real quick, and then whatever. And then I think it was like a $3. I don't even know what the money. It was something stupid. I was just
$3. It was exactly $3.
We're just doing
Yeah,
it. We're just doing it to be stupid. And
Yeah.
he says 5 minutes,
And he would give up.
and he would give up. Kinetic, what'd you say?
I said, yo, he's going to have this down in 3 minutes flat, and he'll be back out here.
I walked down.
Minute and a half.
Minute and a half.
He walked back out. He went into the bathroom. He came back out within a minute and a half.
Flirted with her for like
For-
2
for-
seconds.
two
Shot the
seconds,
number, he's out.
like,
Yeah.
And then he
But-
came back out and he hands me the paper, and I'm like,
Wow.
okay.
Wow.
All right.
No kidding.
But see, that's the thing. Like, when I say I never feel loved, that is true, and that's what scares me, is because I'm just gonna keep chasing, and that's why I don't think I can ever have a wife, because as much as in my head, it makes so much sense to have one person in 2017 with all the diseases out there, and one person you can confide in and trust, and like hold down the homestead, and when they need you, you got them. You know, you need them, they got you. It makes so much sense, but I think I'm just too twisted in the head to be in a relationship, because it's like I'll get tired of this toy, and I'll feel like this toy ain't like fulfilling me no more, and I just gotta chase that high.
Well, have you never been in a relationship?
I have, yeah, but
Yeah.
my relationships are a lot like torn Vietnam, like.
Yeah.
Buffalo Springfield playing in the background.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. Oh
So
my.
it's like it's like buying a vacation home in Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
It's
All going down in flames.
I get the craziest women. I'm telling you right now. I had this girl who was stalking me, bro. I'm telling you right now, she was stalking me.
Yeah.
And what did I do? Instead of telling her to leave me alone, she showed up at my house with like $750, and I'm like, yeah, you can kick it for a minute.
There you
And
go.
then-
I don't wait.
we
What?
paid we paid for a couple of our early shows through this stalker that he had, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I swear to God,
We made it happen.
Because starting
Wow.
out, you don't got a name, you don't have connections, you gotta play this little ticket rig and all this stuff. So it's like, all right, what do you got? Okay, she would roll up to my crib with like $500 a week, bro. $500 a week.
Wow. That's a good gig.
Do you have her name?
Turned out she was married, though.
We're totally.
What was it? The Animals had a song. All the good things in life are taken. So, take it where you
I don't
can.
even know if that was a good thing, bro.
Take it where you can.
I mean, doesn't that kind of make you like a gigolo? You're just a gigolo. Surely you remember that song. Don't make me feel that old. You guys know that song, right? Just a gigolo?
He's an artist, Matt. An artist.
Right?
They play by different rules.
Oh, that's true, yes.
I want to say a gigolo. I think I just took advantage of the opportunity.
Right? No, that's very...
You got money, I got bills. Like, what's up?
At the end of the
Yeah.
day, in this industry, you cannot afford to walk away from an opportunity like that.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Oh, for $750, sure. Sit on the couch right over there. We'll chill.
And this is
Yeah.
and this is the crazy part. This is the crazy part. Matter of fact,
This is the crazy part? Oh,
It
boy.
gets better.
Oh, boy. All right.
I've been keeping it PG, bro.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep it.
All right, so-
R.
So this is real. Kinetic was there this night. This same girl that I'm talking about, this is how crazy she had to be in the head. Because I believe we had a show that night. I have had a lot of alcohol since then, and I was definitely intoxicated this night. I had one girl at the club, and then we come back, and I had this girl on the side of the barn of this recording studio we're at, right? And then I have this another girl pull up, and I'm with her in the car, and the one that I just left in the recording studio comes out and sees me with her, and then she wants me even more. I'm like...
Wow.
Hey, when you do get married and you have that ring on your finger, you're going to be hit on by women.
Everybody.
Yeah.
By
Yep.
everybody.
They always want what they can't have.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like, if I know I can get it, I'm actually fulfilled by that. Believe it or not, it's only
Right.
it's only when I'm drinking that I really push for the next level.
So it's not the kill, it's the thrill of the chase.
Yeah, it's just knowing I can get it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So what else? What else you got going on? Anything else?
We got the
We got plenty of shows, so we can talk about whatever you guys want. I keep it loose, but we got plenty of time.
what direction you want to go? You want to go back to the music? You want to go in some other direction?
You got you're versed in world events and so forth.
Hey, what about the guys? Are either one of you married?
No.
I am.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, he's got a ring. Yeah, yeah.
I'm married, got
there
a
you go.
kid.
Wow,
There you go.
good for you.
Yes, sir.
No children for Kinetic.
Yeah. No children for me.
I'm fairly certain the world wouldn't want you to have children. out of Kinetic.
No, nobody needs me downloading all my messed up thoughts into a blank hard drive, sending it out into the world.
His 5-year-old son walks into a field, just starts shaving his head, saying they're coming for us.
Oh wow.
First day of school in a trench coat and a pair of 90s trip pants.
Yeah. Wow.
Mommy, I don't want to go to the school anymore.
See, that's what scares me about having kids. It's like, I know I would raise them right as a human being. Like, I wouldn't leave them hungry. They would have all their, the necessities. They'd be treated with love. But what scares me is the fact that I view the world so much different than the norm that if they had to go to public school, I just know that they wouldn't fit in.
Yeah.
Like, I know what I'm doing's right. But
You'd want to homeschool them.
I don't. Well, see, I don't want to have a weird kid like that either. Like, my thoughts with no public interaction? I don't know, bro.
Right.
So,
So you'd want the socialization to kind of normalize them a little bit, you think?
yeah, something. I don't know. I would say private school, but then I'm worried that they'd be around a bunch of rich kids, and
Right.
I don't really know where I'd put my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob's kid in homeschooling would be trying to convince my kid to drink the Kool-Aid.
Right. So how do you see it? Tell us how you see the
really
world.
tasty.
Because you said you see the world so much different than most people.
I just view the human species as a bunch of swine, and I don't think they realize that
There
they are.
you go.
Like,
And is there how much evidence is there to rebut that?
The state of the world.
No.
if you have, first off, driving down here to the studio today, I was getting road rage pretty hard by all the ignorant people. But if you spend a day in Boston or New York, like,
Oh, I've lived there.
oh yeah, well then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, these people are ignorant, and it's funny because everyone's in a race to go somewhere, but I don't think they really know where they're going. So
Right.
everyone's racing around. You know what I mean? Everyone. So when I say swine, I guess maybe that's not as descriptive as I want to put it. I think we're all two people in one. I think we have the primate portion of ourselves who is just pure animal, and we're going to take what we want. And I think the human species is destructive, and they will do whatever they see fit and destroy whatever is in their path to take what they want. And we're always at conflict because we have this cognitive portion of the brain where we try to have these morals. But if you've noticed people with too many morals, they're always contradicting themselves. And the people that live with the most rules are often the most unhappy. Because if you live, not to diss anyone's religion, but I'm just going to use this as an example. If you're Christian, I'm not Christian, but if you're Christian and you live by these set of rules and you witness me not living by those rules, you are gonna immediately feel turmoil and a certain way about me because I don't live by those rules. So you view me as inferior or different or not part of your pack. You know what I mean?
Right. And they will find a way to convey that to you that they feel that way very often.
A lot of times, yeah.
Instead of just kind of keeping that to themselves. Now you did mention God earlier, so you're not a Christian, but you do believe in God.
I believe in I believe in a higher power. I believe in the universe. I don't put no term on my religious beliefs.
Yeah.
I pray to God, and the God is the universe. The God is the unconscious. I feel like we're all connected at an unconscious level.
Yeah.
And
You need to see a Jungian psychologist. Might help you.
why do you say that?
Oh, well, you're talking. Jung is very understood the artistic mind. I would say better than other psychologists of his time, like his friend Freud.
That's interesting. My dad said the same thing once.
Oh, yeah.
He told me that, yeah.
He analyzed Joyce, Ulysses, that. Very famous. Usually artists, Jungians can deal with you where other psychologists can't.
There you go.
They're going to be more what you were just talking about.
Yeah,
That's within their reality. Reality is socially defined. People don't understand that. So you must go between different realities. Like you're talking about Waco, Texas. I was in the Army. That's a different reality. Yep. Then the Army in Monterey, California is different than when you're in Texas. It's like that. Or Germany.
I grew up, my father was in the Army as well. I was actually born in Germany.
Oh, where?
Oh, wow.
Ziegenhain.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh.
Like this right here, to me, is a form of therapy.
Yeah.
And if I were to kick it with like-minded people and talk, I think it's a form of therapy.
Unfortunately, being an artist,
I think I'm so anti-establishment and I'm so don't tell me what to do that when I was a child, I had to go to therapy because of some instances or whatever.
Really?
So if I go to somewhere to where it's designated that you are the therapist, I'm automatically resisting you.
So you've never been to a shrink, I assume?
No, I have when I was a kid.
Oh, when you were a kid, yeah.
Yeah, I went. A bunch of stuff happened. I had to go to. It was mandatory to go to a therapist or whatever.
But did you find that then that you were automatically resisting the therapist?
Yeah, I was resisting him, and it was, I was a juvenile at the time, but looking back at it, I was acting completely juvenile. Like it was. He was trying to help me, and I was just being flagrant to him. Like the only reason you're talking to me right now is because you're getting paid.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Oh, as you're going to go through life, you'll have that impression many times with many different people, professionals.
I went to a psychiatrist a couple of times as an adult, probably 20 years ago. It was when I first kind of started to admit to myself that I had a problem with depression. I went twice and I never went back. It was literally the kind of the stereotype of what going to a shrink is, where she wanted me to lie on a couch and talk about my mother for an hour. And
Can I get her number?
Didn't think that was going to be helpful. I can't even remember her name. It was so long ago. But she wasn't. She wasn't helpful, and I never went back. But because there was nothing. Talking about my mother wasn't going to help me. I was just, it was just clinical depression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was diagnosed. I don't know. I think I was 14, 15 years old, somewhere around there. And I had a lot of trouble, just like everybody else as I'm coming up.
Yeah.
And I got sent to a therapist, and I what's the phrase? Reacted aggressively would be the
the
terminology.
reactive mind.
Yeah. I reacted very aggressively to that statement of authority because they immediately, as soon as I walked into the door, I felt like they were immediately trying to dominate me.
Yeah.
And I had a problem with that. So over the years, I kind of coped with it. I had a lot of the violent outbursts, that kind of thing. And then one day, I got really, really, really pissed.
Yeah.
I got in the car with my father, and we just drove around for like an hour and a half. And I was screaming, yelling. People would, reasonably pull out in front of us, and I'd scream at them for cutting us off. All kinds of craziness. And now it's really funny because of the way that I learned to cope with that frustration any time in my life that I get overwhelmed, my immediate reaction is get in the car.
Really?
I get in the car, I get on 93, I get on 95, and I put my foot to the floor. And I just drive.
Yeah.
And I drive till my tank runs out. I just drive.
No kidding.
There's been times me and Dad have done that. You know, I've driven out to his house, picked him up, and we just took off.
Yeah.
And at very much the dismay of my wife, because when me and Dad go out, we don't go out for an hour or two. We're gone for, 16 hours in a whack.
Wow.
But I mean, that's just it's therapy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pavement therapy, and for those of you out there who are having trouble dealing with that authority and that kind of thing, when you hit the road, all you think about is the road.
Right.
And it helps kind of cleanse you a little bit. You can reassert your situations as you're, when you get back, you can now look at that with a clear head versus looking at it, muddled and irritated and everything else. So you just got to take a creative breath, and everybody has to do that in their own way.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of a form of meditation for you.
Yeah, essentially.
Mindfulness.
Yeah, I mean, my wallet doesn't like it very much. You end up burning through so much gas at the end of the day. But
yeah, you ever get a ticket doing that? Because you mentioned.
God, yeah. I've been on the verge of losing my license probably for the last 3 years.
Oh, wow.
But I don't care. I know that sounds bad, being irresponsible, being a father and a husband. I don't care.
Right.
Because if I didn't, there's no reason I haven't purchased an SKS and walked through downtown yet.
Right.
So that's why I haven't done that.
So we're happy that you drive fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And
As I watch all these venues stop booking me. Hey, I swear to God, we're not going to dust your club, bro.
I promise. Matter of fact, we left him at home. He's not even here.
We're on live radio talking about how unstable we are. Come on, guys, book us. We're good people.
He still has his license. Don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen.
But you're artists. There's a whole school of psychological thought that thinks that many creative people were bipolar.
Oh, yeah.
And they've even got, when they do the MRIs and stuff, that it's part of the brain structure.
Yep.
That what we would call bipolar and dysfunctional.
Yeah.
A lot of artists. Whatever it is that makes you not normal, that's giving you the tools, I guess.
Your creativity, yeah.
It's like a trade-off.
You ever think that bipolar is actually normal and being weird is normal? But
if you were a creative person, it would be.
Through being the sanitized and pasteurized society of everyone trying to fit into a cube, maybe that's not normal.
Hey, I've often thought that I used to think that I was just a recording and listening device put here by aliens, and that, geez, come get me, and the next assignment, a little more sophisticated, a little more evolved planet, send me to.
Right.
I never felt I was human.
Were you a disciple of Marshall Applewhite?
I don't even know who that is, but if he's got a tax-free church, give me his number.
Well, he's dead. He died in I believe it was 2000. He was the head of the Heaven's Gate group.
Oh, cool. My
okay.
sister Debbie, she always was fascinated. When they all were laid out, they all had those expensive, what she'd call sneakers. That's what fascinated. We're watching all these dead people. Oh, geez, look at it. It's like
Look at those
cost $100 an each.
Oh, wow, and those pieces of purple silk. Oh my God.
They were going in
That's
style.
what she was thinking about.
They were going in style.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Got to have your kicks in the afterlife.
And
That's
those
right.
black jumpsuits, you can't forget those with the little Heaven's Gate symbol above the heart and the first mission tattoo or first mission patch on their arm.
Well, because they go with anything.
No, yeah.
You can wear them with anything.
Yeah, no, it's just, black kicks, white kicks, don't matter.
That's right.
Wear a K. Daver t-shirt over the jumpsuit, whatever.
Yeah.
They're
The Church of
gender-neutral.
Cadaver.
Yeah. There you go. You need a Church of Cadaver. That's a
here
great
we go.
idea.
Oh,
Tax-free.
don't get started.
Tax-free.
I have so many and I love, for anyone listening to this, I love all my fans. I love you. But there are some out there who are crazy.
But if you're a stalker with money, it's okay. That's your kind of crazy, right?
Worship K. Daver.
Yeah.
Come on, it was thrilling, wasn't it? To be
Church of
stalked by
Screaming-
somebody with money.
The
A
Church of
dame with
Screaming
money?
Obscenities in
No.
public.
Well, it was weird at first, and then it became cool, and then what became uncool was when her husband started stalking me.
Now you.
Well, that is when
Okay.
it does get a
I
little.
didn't, for the record, anybody out there, I didn't know she was married.
Yeah, so you left out that part of the story before. So, okay, so what happened?
Is my mic loud enough?
Yeah.
Okay, word.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, we don't want to miss this.
Nah, like I didn't know the whole situation. She said, yeah, I'm not seeing nobody, whatever.
She wasn't.
And then, and then I was
For
driving.
that moment.
Like her husband and children.
They don't come.
What else are you supposed to think though when this girl's at your crib four nights a week?
Yeah.
Like I didn't think she was with anybody because if you're at my crib 4 nights a week, it's like I would think whoever you're with would be asking some questions.
Right. Yeah.
And then
Reasonable assumption.
I guess the questions came out, and it was like, so I was driving down the street one day, doing whatever, and like, I don't know, 40, 50 miles an hour, this dude like comes up on me Fast and Furious style.
Wow.
It was insane, bro. Like I'm here, he's here, right next to me. He's staring at me.
And it wasn't Vin Diesel?
It wasn't Vin Diesel,
All right.
which would be pretty cool and make the story a lot better.
That's true.
Well, we can cast them.
Yeah.
Mind's eye.
We'll pretend it's Vin Diesel.
No, this guy looked like something at Trailer Park Boys, actually.
Oh, no
But-
kidding. Great.
So long story short, like that all happened, and like the way this intersection was coming about, it was turning into a 1 lane. So this, that, and the other thing, it dissipated. But I was talking to her, and I said, the weirdest thing happened today. And then boom, boom, boom. I can't remember it all, because it all happened so fast. It happened within a period of a few weeks or a week. Like everything just came out, and I actually had to move out of the state.
Well, wait a minute. Okay,
Well, that's never good.
You're glossing over stuff here. So what do you mean? So you told her about what happened?
Yeah,
and,
I told her about what happened.
and what did she say?
I'm pretty sure she said, "Oh, that might have been my crazy ex."
Okay.
X.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, what the hell's going on?"
Right.
And then so this
But it turned out they were married.
married, yeah.
Okay.
With children.
You should have appreciated the fact, you gave her a place to go to 4 times in a week, so he knew where she was. He sounds
That's
like a
right.
real idiot.
Well, what
Kate
happened was
Daver was her version of anger therapy. Which is just weird.
Well, it was weird because me and her really didn't click on emotional level. Like we did, like we kind of had fun or whatever, but we really clicked on a sexual level.
Uh-huh.
It was like, so
There's the $750. What was
Just
it,
a
500 a night?
gigolo.
but no, it's like, you know how like you have so for instance, the last person I spoke about, who we'll just keep the name out, whatever, like
Right.
that was more of like a spiritual thing. Like I was more attracted to her being.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like this girl was straight physical. So where am I trying to get with this? Yeah. So long story short, we walk out one morning, her tires are slashed. So now this guy knows where I live. And like now we got a problem.
Her tires were slashed, but not yours?
Well, I was.
He is an idiot.
I was.
He had to pay for them, right? Afterwards.
Get your new man to buy you some tires.
Well, the new man's the old man now.
Matt, we have a text here from a gal named Heidi.
Yes.
Does Kadaver take Bitcoin?
What's Bitcoin?
Oh, you don't know what Bitcoin is?
You don't know what cryptocurrency is, bruh?
Hold on.
If you did, you could get you could get away with more.
I got 2 questions. Where is this going, and what is Bitcoin?
Well, where it's going, who knows?
Somebody might want to adopt you.
Ah.
Visit.
Well, let me
Four
in
times
on
a
Are you single?
Yeah, I'm single.
Ah.
What's Bitcoin?
It's a cryptocurrency. Now legal in New Hampshire, unregulated.
Yeah.
You can use Bitcoin now for everything.
Yep.
Well, hey,
Contract hits, dope, whatever.
Uh,
or
we-
paying a gigolo.
Yep.
Heidi, if you're listening to this right now, I just need to know, where do you want to go, and what are we doing? And that will determine my price. If you just want to hang out with me for the night, you can just buy dinner and we'll kick it.
Oh. All right.
She just replied. I don't know if I can say this. Do you have your finger on the button?
Well, if you don't know if you can say it, you
Let
probably
me read
shouldn't
it.
say
Hey,
it.
let me read it. I like where this is going. This is turning into the Howard Stern show, bro.
She wants to strap you on.
Oh, my.
I
You
have
should
no
really
idea
just
what
switch to
that
serious at this point if you're going to have us on here again.
What's your body hair situation, Kay Daver? Because she likes really hairy men, apparently.
She's into Yeti Americans.
Yes.
All right,
Matt.
so I guess I'm out of the loop. Like, what does strap me on mean?
I have no idea. I don't make the news. I just report it.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know. 'Cause as soon as we start talking about like strap-ons or whatever, I'm getting weirded out.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
this
time
price.
to change.
This price just
Yeah.
went up.
That's why she's paying in Bitcoin.
yeah. We'll go back
Since
to
he
what.
doesn't know what it is.
In case you weren't aware,
Yeah.
pegging is illegal in New Hampshire. I just thought I'd let you know.
Oh my goodness.
Good God.
No. All right,
just
we
found
gotta.
out what that
Let's
was
go
last
back to.
week.
Let's go back to where we were because that's for a different show. That's that's Matt Connarton Unsheathed, and that airs somewhere else. Okay, so her tires were slashed, but not yours.
Well, in the name of being a struggling artist, I didn't have a car.
Oh, all right. Well, you were
So you were using her car?
yeah.
There it goes.
keeping it real.
I was bumping DMX with a baby seat in the back. Like, what's up?
Nice.
I do it every day, bro. It's cool.
How old were you when this was going on?
What was I? 22.
22, 23,
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that.
The foibles of youth.
Yes.
Yeah. it's
How old
cool.
are you now? 23?
28.
Okay.
I know I look a stunning young man, but I'm getting old. You know what I mean?
You look younger than the last time I saw you because you lost all that weight.
Yeah, I lost 70 pounds. All right, so this is actually,
Running away from husbands?
yeah, it's actually a good diet plan. You know what I mean? Like you show up at 3:45, and then you got half hour to make everything happen. Then you got to bounce out and run. No, I'm just playing. For the record, everyone listening to this, like I'm not a horrible person. I don't go out of my way to get with people's girlfriends or wives or anything like that.
To be fair, you didn't know.
I didn't know.
You didn't know. Yeah.
I didn't know. And like when you're out on the road, you don't have a Horfax. Like you can't just sit there and be like, you know what I mean? If they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and you're in a new city, so some stuff happened on the road.
There's gonna be extras.
But
There's gonna be extras.
It's the next new track. It's the next new track, Devin.
what was the question you asked?
That'd be a good
forgot.
CD
So-
title.
So her tires were slashed.
Her tires were slashed.
And then
I
what
didn't-
happened?
I didn't have a car.
Yeah.
I had to
So by default, your tires were slashed.
by default. 'Cause that's my car.
Right.
How did you get rid of her?
I moved out of state.
He moved to New
Oh,
York for
okay.
like 3 months.
City? New York City?
No, upstate New York.
Well, what did she say when her tires were slashed? Did she come clean at that point?
Yeah, I think she said something along the lines of he is clinically crazy and we should probably be careful.
But at this point, was she still referring to him as her ex?
Yeah, she never came clean about what they were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never came
She never
clean.
did. So how'd you find out?
I had a friend. I don't even want to say friend, but I knew someone who knew them, and they told me the whole story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so I asked around a few other people, and they're like, yeah. And then, so what happened was, like, I would drive, you know what I'm saying? I would drive by the crib or whatnot, and he was there, and I'm like, oh, wow, I got played out. You know what I mean? You know, so it's like whatever. Like,
Right.
You know, we had, you know, it was a fun little time, got some money, shared some laughs, you know.
Yeah.
It was a.
I didn't have to have a
Broke up
kid
a
out of it. Hey, yo, I didn't break up no household. Like,
Right.
He was fighting to have it. Like, dude, you don't gotta fight me to have. You can have it. I just didn't know. Like, if you called me as a man, like, yo, this is my wife, I'd be like, dude, I'm sorry. I'd back off.
It was a learning experience. It gave you an opportunity for growth
Yeah.
and a
Theoretically.
road trip too.
Yeah.
Theoretically, but unfortunately, I keep falling into these same cycles, man.
So did you never had any direct interaction with him?
He showed up at your job one time, didn't he?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't believe you almost left that out. Thank you, Kinetic.
So at the time,
This is
You should
great.
become a novelist.
well, I forgot all about it.
Former job.
At the time, I was like, what was I, 22?
Yeah.
I was 22. So was I selling weed at that time? I wasn't. I think I just stopped selling weed. So I was just working a regular job, rapping, and like whatever money she gave me. And whatever's clever. I was a manager, you know what I mean? So I had a public job where people could just walk in.
Yeah.
And he walked in, and I'm like, okay, I don't know where this is going. But he would like circle around the store. And
But did you know it was him when he walked in? Did you recognize him?
At this point, by the time all this went down, I knew what was happening.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh damn, like this is going down. And like he would just leave, and he'd come back, and it was like whatever. So I didn't really know what to do because at the time,
Sounds like he was stalking you, kind of.
yeah. So I was stalked by a stalker who I ended up getting with, and then I was stalked by the stalker's boyfriend.
Stalker.
Yeah, like,
Right.
it was creepy.
Well, at least by this time you're used to being stalked.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Now he just does the stalking.
the stalking, I'm actually still stalked to this day, believe it or not. It's
By
just-
that guy?
No, not by
Oh,
him.
good.
Stalking can, when I was coming up through the as a young guy and dealing with the exigencies of love, stalking was just called, romance.
Yes.
That was before it became illegal.
We called it excessively following.
Matt, do you have a track that we can
romantically shadowing
listen?
a
Kay
person.
Dover?
Well, he doesn't have any radio edits.
Oh, you don't?
I don't get the
prepared.
radio edits.
Unfortunately.
Can you give us a rap?
Oh, you want something?
Well, it has to be PG rated.
What do I don't know if I have.
If you want to, he's not a dancing bear, John Hopwood. Please.
Oh yeah, we were. That was the subject of last week.
I just got.
I just want to hear. I will be hearing something soon.
I just got a text listening to the show. Best line I've heard in a while about road stories. There's going to be extras. LOL.
It's gonna be the new kid to have a T-shirt. Come for the show. Stay for the extras.
There you go.
All right. So he walks into the store a couple times, but he never makes contact with you.
Yeah, like it was seriously weird.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was stuck in a rock and a hard place because I think at that point I was leaving my job. I road trip. I don't know, man. Like I said, between the extras and just life in general, and like I have a weird. I'm like, this is. I guess what's messed up about me is I can immediately write something off. So like when something's done, I'll like pick out the funny parts and I'll just forget the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think what happened.
I think that's healthy.
Yeah, it's probably the only way I cope in life.
Yeah.
But I think what happened was I didn't want to do anything. First off, I felt bad. If we're gonna break it down as grown men right now, I felt bad because at that point I really saw what was happening when I was banging his wife, and I was like, oh damn, I feel bad.
Yeah.
But the other side of me was like, I don't want to fight this dude because I'm in the wrong. If I got to fight this dude, I'll lose my job.
Right.
He's coming to my work. You know
right.
what I mean? And so, what I mean? Not to play the punk card, but I didn't know what to do. And I didn't want him at my job. You know what I mean? So
Awkward.
I called my friend up. You know what I mean? I called my friend up at the time. He's still my friend.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Mikey. And I said, man, this is what's happening. Like, I don't know what to do right now. If this goes down, I'm going to lose my job. And he's like, I'll be right there. You know what I mean? So he showed up with the 4-5. And
wow,
the guy never came back.
Did he? Are you saying he had contact with the gentleman?
You could word it that way.
Well, that's a story I don't really want to delve too far into. But
man, just give us a really strong hint. You're good at that.
They saw each other.
Okay.
One knew what was going to happen if he kept moving. And he stopped moving.
Understood. Okay. And that was it. That was last time.
That was the last time I had contact.
Yeah.
But then she was crazy, and then she was still, not recently, but a few years ago. Like this is old news, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, within reason, it was quite a while after she was hitting me up through email and all that. I obviously had to block her on Facebook. I mean, isn't that the 2017 Leave Me Alone, right? That's
right.
Or whatever it was at the time, 2013. So I had to block her. And then, like, she still had my email, and then she's hit me up, blah, blah, blah. And then she's asking, so, all right, this ain't going to make me sound good, but I don't care.
That's fine.
Love these stories.
Yeah, this is great.
So when I finally realized what happened, and I felt so disgusted. And for the record, I was thinking about moving to New York anyway. It was just, boom, that was my exit.
Yeah.
I was in New York, I needed some money or whatever. And then she was hit me up. And I eventually said, if you send me this money, maybe we can work something out.
Wow.
And
wow.
Because at that point I felt used. At that point I'm like, you did me dirty. You know what I mean? Because I grew up. Me and my brothers. And I'm telling you this right now. Me and my brothers are like some of the most stand-up people you could ever meet. We don't go out of our way to hit on people's girlfriends. We won't intentionally. Like if we know you're with somebody, we won't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the crew and if you're dating one of our boys, you're immediately off limits.
Yeah.
There's not even a hint.
That's good.
But. So I kind of felt dirty. Like you made me do things that are against my morals right now.
Yeah.
And you were stringing me. You could have just been honest. Like you could have been honest this whole time, and you weren't. So because you weren't honest, I didn't care if I wasn't honest at that point. And I felt messed with, and I needed money. I was hungry, whatever. So I said, you ship me this money right now. It's all gravy. So whatever, she shipped me the money, and I changed my phone number and and whatever. And so she hit me up like through email, like I need that money. That was my husband's money. That's my husband's money. I was like, oh,
Not now.
Wow. Wow.
Could you make an instructional video?
Yeah.
Some of us don't have these talents.
That's right.
Well, you just need to be. I don't know. It's weird. Like you gotta be a dick, so they want you, but then you gotta be kind when they're with you. You know what I mean? So it's like. Just got to.
Isn't it? Usually, it's the other way around. You know, she's the bipolar.
Oh, wow. Wow. So have you heard from her? Did she hound you
will
for the
be
money?
Soon.
Yeah.
Is
Did
she a Granite State gal?
What's up?
She a Granite State gal?
Granite State.
New Hampshire girl?
I'm trying to think where she's from. Yeah, I think she was from New Hampshire.
What
Hampshire, Mass.
what does her name rhyme with?
We're not even going there. Like that's something I'm not even willing to play with, man.
All right.
For the sake of my health and well-being.
But it's Vin Diesel's wife.
Vin Diesel's wife.
Okay.
Well, I probably shouldn't have been open my mouth because now she knows where I am right now. I'm stationary.
I'll tell you what, and I'm not kidding. Like I saw a girl walking up the stairs because I can kind of see through the door because the door's propped open, and I thought, oh boy, I hope this isn't her. She's gonna come in here, and
That'd be some cool radio, bro.
that would be.
That'd be some cool radio.
Although I have a feeling you'd have the FCC climbing right up, you know.
I don't know. I don't know. As long as there's no profanity, if she wants to come in
there'd
here
be
and
quite a bit of profanity.
come in here and well, I can hit the dump button while she yells at him or pistol whips him or whatever.
Pistol whips him.
You know, whatever's gonna
Gags
go down.
him, throws him in the trunk.
That's right.
Yo, do you want
Later, Dad.
Yo,
Have a good one.
do you want to know? I don't even know if I should be saying this, but do you know how she got that money to be giving me that money?
Oh,
Well,
I want to know.
we want to know now.
We want to know.
You gotta tell us now.
This is seriously like I didn't even know this either till the end. This is what I mean when like the rabbit hole unravels. But come to find out, she worked for somebody, right? And like she had to.
Well, she was a working girl. And
No, not in that sense. She just she had a job, right? Where
Okay.
There was some type of legality to where
She was respectable. She was.
I wouldn't go that far, but she had a job.
Not that working girls aren't respectable.
No, that's true.
Just this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she had a job, right, where she could it was some legality to where like you buy it over one state border and bring it over the next state to avoid taxes or something.
Okay.
Not goes the actual contraband.
And I guess these cars would like get shipped wherever, you know what I mean? And come to find out, she has like, you know what? You know, I could keep doing this for like $200 a day, or I could take this car and flip it. Because when she buys the car, it had to be in her name or something, you know what I mean?
Really?
I was like, but I guess I don't know. I guess it's all legal or whatever.
Oh, it sounds very legal.
But
We paid for the car with Bitcoin on the black web.
like seriously, but that's the crazy part. Like you never really know somebody. So this all happened. Finding out she's married, how she did this, like all happened within a period of a week. Like
Yeah.
not like maybe even a weekend. I don't know. Kinetic, you were there. I think it happened in a weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, it was shorter than a week, but longer than a weekend. Probably something like 3-4 days.
I said,
Yeah.
you gotta get away from me. Like you're sick. You are mentally ill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever.
Wow.
That's just one of the stories for the book. You know,
Oh, the book.
I'm working on a book actually.
Are you really for real?
Yeah, for real.
Good. Now, what is it? Is it your autobiography or what is it?
A memoir.
A memoir?
I kind of got two books going on right now. One's kind of like a motivational thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the other book, is autobiography. I don't know how I want to do it because I kind of feel like my stuff's boring, but then when people hear my stories, they're amazed by them.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Yeah.
I should do something, you know what I mean?
I think you should do a do-it-yourself book about, getting women to stalk you and give you money.
That's right.
you make
I'd
messed
be
up
first in
Be-
line.
become a local rapper, kids. That's how you do it.
That's right.
There's no secret. Make messed up music that no normal people can vibe with, so you get all these deranged derelicts to stalk you.
Fantastic.
I showed, I feel bad. I really do, because I think these people mean well. I really do. And for anyone listening to this, I respond to your messages online. I read them all. I think you're all awesome people. But there are a couple. There are a couple who are out of this box. And I showed Ironclad a couple of these messages. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what to do.
Like what? Like what do they say? What do you mean?
I didn't show him this message, but I can show you after. But this one girl was like, talking to me, you know what I mean? She's like, when you come back to my come back to my state. You know, we should spend the night together. I said, yeah, that's cool, whatever.
Let's spend the night together.
Like, I was totally cool with it. Like, she was freaking and stuff. And then she started sending me stuff like pictures of Gigi Allen. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And then she sends me more pictures. And then she's talking about how, like, she wants her thighs cut and, like, drink her blood out and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
She's a vampire.
That is a big thing.
There is.
Especially
There
down
is a
south.
group. You
Yeah.
know, what would you call a population of vampiric Americans?
And I'm totally down for people to do whatever they want to do,
Right.
but that is not. I'm not even willing to, like, if let's say I had a wife, I'm not even really willing to do that with my wife.
Yeah, that's not the kind of extras
No,
you're looking for.
she will metaphorically drink your blood with the, the divorce attorney.
No, she wanted me to drink her blood.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was drink my blood.
Did you ask? Was she going to provide, a certificate that she doesn't have HIV?
I didn't.
that's
I
very
didn't.
Was that bad manners?
I didn't move forward.
See, I would have asked that anyway, just to see what she would have said. I would have been like, "Do you have some documentation I can look at?"
I really didn't want to move forward because that's the thing. Like, you don't want to play with people's emotions.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
if you move
yeah.
forward with that, and she were to supply documentation, I will be in her city again. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I'm in her city again, it's like, hey, I showed you the documentation. I was just playing. Like that. You're obviously crazy.
Right.
So like, last thing I want is like some Misery. One of those. That movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen King. Yeah.
When you
Wow.
call yourself the Gigi Allen of hip hop, this is going to happen. We've had this conversation.
Do you call yourself the Gigi Allen of hip hop?
I did it one time. Yeah.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have made that connection.
Well, because we were so out of the box, and it was like, I just wanted, like, our shows now are crazy, and people come up to us and they're like, you give the most energy, your stuff, so this just, whatever. But before, well, actually,
In our early 20s, when we were stage diving and mosh pitting and grabbing a hold of people and shaking them off their feet, you were just in the crowd, but we were
Right.
bringing the show to you. And
Yeah.
we're loud, rowdy, aggressive music. So when that jumps into the crowd at you, we got compared to Gigi Allen quite a bit. So
No kidding. Huh.
The moniker just kind of stuck.
like,
Yeah.
we can go out to the bar right now and we'll be totally chill. Like, I might raise my voice a couple times just at a laugh. But
Yeah.
like, at a show, you will not disrespect me. And if I work for this. This is my job. So I feel like if you're going to be in the crowd and you're just going to play fiddle around with your phone, you deserve to get a boot to the head. Like, I don't do that now. At 28 years old, I don't do that now because I want to get Ray the Rugged Man. Shout out to Ray the Rugged Man. Shout out, hopefully your life is going well. When I was on tour with Ray the Rugged Man, he told me this. He said, you can only go so hard before going hard doesn't pay. And he was saying stories about back in the day. He would do the same thing, and like, he would get booked once or twice a year because no one wants to book that.
Wow. Yeah.
Were you going to be a promoter? Book someone who's going to come in your venue and start snuffing people?
Right.
You know what I mean? So now we keep it to lighthearted mosh pits, and I might grab some people out of fun, and whatever. I'll shake them a little bit, but I ain't gonna go crazy.
But
know
you
what I mean?
don't engage in fisticuffs during your show.
No, I mean,
We will if you want to throw
Hasn't
down. But
yet happened.
Okay.
Word it that way.
Yes.
More than willing, just has not yet happened.
It's not that I want to. Like, I wish that never happens, but if it does,
Fisticuffs is one of my favorite words. That's why I've worked it into the show a couple times. I try to use it whenever I can. I just love that word, fisticuffs.
fisticuffs.
It's just a great word.
Kind of
I feel that way about tomfoolery. That's one of my
Tomfoolery is a
favorite
great
words.
word too.
Both
Yeah,
of those,
absolutely.
Both of those terms feel like 1998 England.
1998.
Yeah.
I'd say like 1968 England. Nobody was tomfoolerying in the 90s.
Yeah. It had already been passe by 98. Yeah.
It's coming back though. I hear it on Facebook quite a bit.
Everything good comes back again. It really does. Tomfoolery, fisticuffs, all of it.
Yeah.
Ebola.
Calling people
Ebola?
a jive turkey.
Oh,
Real
yeah.
hip
I like
hop.
jive turkey.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's why I try to be, I was saying the other day on the show, like I try to keep it really hip on the show so the young folk who listen, they don't think I'm a jive turkey.
Yep. You want them to think you're groovy.
Right, exactly. I want them to think I'm like a really hep cat. So I try to keep it contemporary for the kids.
You know what's crazy is, like, I'm pure white, but I fit in with African American culture. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Like,
you're a rapper.
well, yeah, but that's the weird thing though, because if you listen to our
Do
rap,
very white rap.
yeah, it's like
Very white rap.
it's like aggressive. Okay, so 12 Steps to Recovery is actually going in a different direction. So for anybody out there, let me give that another plug. You know what I mean? 12 Steps to Recovery, first single is going to drop next week. It's definitely a new direction. So, but that being said, previously most of my music is aggressive, like very rah-rah, like ICP meets Rage Against the Machine meets Limp Bizkit meets Wu-Tang or something. You know what I mean? A little Wu-Tang, you know, maybe. But, you know, so it's crazy. Like, the African-American culture, like, that seems to be the people I fit in with the most.
Yeah.
And I don't really know. And it's weird, too, because, like, I was, you know, I don't know. For a bunch of years there at Kinetic, it was like I would get all these white girls, and I'm like, man, I just want a black girl. I want a black. And then finally, once I cracked the seal, like, it was just an influx of black girls coming my way. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't really know why, but it seems like that's all I can get now.
It's because you can't stay away from them.
Yeah, probably.
No, I mean, and not that you should have to stay away from them, but you know, it's definitely your type.
It might be an intelligent life move too, because my past few that I've been with haven't really gone that well.
All right.
That was a very light way to put it. I hope you're aware of just how much break he put into that statement.
Yeah. Well, you do have quite the stories.
It's like saying a fender bender is calling a 52 car pileup on 93 a fender bender.
Right. Right.
Like, oh, that didn't go well.
No, not at all. There's people burning, running across the street, cars blowing up. Oh, that's inconvenient.
Well, you know, if you do reproduce, if you have children, which I know it sounds like you're not interested in having children, but it's actually better to reproduce with people who are of, I don't like the word race personally. I think it's weird. I like to say ethnicity. It's better to breed with people of other, of very different ethnicities because you'll have healthier children.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah,
why is that?
Because the more, I mean, I don't know enough about it to really speak about it articulately, but it has to do with the genetic. You know, you're getting that much more genetic coding mixed together, so they're less likely to be vulnerable to certain illnesses that tend to be genetic.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense because, you know what I mean? If you're pure white, she's pure white, there's a chance there's somewhere down the gene pool something splices the wrong way or whatever.
Yeah.
On a funny note, no, this ain't actually, I shouldn't even say funny. This is not funny at all. But on a weird note, and I'm only bringing this up because you said you're less susceptible to diseases or whatnot. I don't know if you knew this little tidbit, man, but like the HIV virus or whatever, if you're a single straight man and you have unprotected sex with a female, unless if you have sores or whatever, it's actually a less than 1% chance. If you only have sex one time. But I think it's like the African American male. I think it's crazy. It's like I don't know what, like an 80% chance on the first time.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's weird. And signs point to the doctors that created it or whatever. They created to target the gay and African American population.
So you believe that it was created? I know that's a theory I've read a lot about. Yeah,
absolutely.
I believe.
Really, you guys all all think so?
Inside the cover to our first album, Death by Design, we actually wrote down the patent number that we found on the federal government website for the cure for HIV. So I
remember that. Yeah,
the cure is already patented. It's just not profitable to release it. And we are all about getting the knowledge out there to the people because I don't care who you voted for, man, but the government is up to some shady stuff. And if we don't open our eyes, we're all the victims.
Now, when did Death by Design come out?
2011.
2011, okay. And when was Coattails with you? Because
that was 2011.
That was 2011? Okay.
See, 6 years, bro. I'm telling you, it hasn't been 10.
I think it's been 7 or 8.
No, it's been 6.
All right. Whatever happened to Coattails? Where is he now?
That's my boy. That's my boy for life.
Do you guys still work together in some capacity?
We don't work together. Basically, what happened is he woke up one day and said, wow, I could go get my engineering degree and be successful in life, or I can follow around this drug addict rapper. And so, like, he went out and got his degree, and I got nothing but love for him, man. Like, that's my boy for life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just recently graduated Keene State College.
Good for him.
With his engineering degree.
That's fantastic. Coincidentally, I had run into him. I think it was right after he had enrolled, because didn't he go to the Tech in Concord for maybe a year or something?
Yep. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I'd run into him somewhere at a store or something, and he told me that, and it was right after he had just enrolled, because I remember him telling me. So what year would that have been?
Conquered?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
2012,
Nah,
maybe
Oh, okay.
13.
2013, probably.
Yeah.
2014.
Really?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Maybe I just have a distorted perception of time. Well,
It's all
I
those
think
extras.
everybody does.
maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, it's like John was saying, reality is
Relative.
relative.
Yep.
Oh, your mic's not on, John. I'm sorry. There you go.
You don't want to get the traffic here, right?
No. I just turned it off because you left the room for a minute.
Hey, that reminds me of a story. My brother, who was career Air Force, had an executive officer. This was early 80s. He had been a drummer in a band in the I think it's near Sacramento, California, in the 60s. Willie and the Poor Boys. He got drafted because of Vietnam. That's Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, wow.
So he's in Vietnam when they hit.
Oh,
Isn't
That band's
that
classic,
something?
man. I like that band. For real.
yeah.
Oh yeah, great band. But it was funny because that's fate, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Someday he'll regret that engineering degree.
I don't know. Maybe. I walk in one day, he just start his 9mm. Like, I can't take it anymore.
So what else? So the cure for HIV thing, that's definitely out of the box. That's out of the mainstream as far as thinking. What else? I mean, because some of your material over the years, you've talked about some of these things in your lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Like what are some of the things that you've tackled with your lyrics?
Well, I mean, if you're going through the discography, you know what I mean? A lot of it's, governmental, you know what I mean? About the uncovering of HIV, I mean, early on, it was the conspiracy of 9/11 or whatever, basically beat that dead horse.
Yeah.
FEMA camps.
FEMA camps, you know what I mean? Basically, the Bilderbergs, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Banking cartels.
Yeah, I mean, like, we talk about all that, and I think not to let you down on anything, man, but it's like the new material I'm coming out with really has none of, I don't want to say none, but it's definitely sparing because
we went in more of a personal direction on this CD.
Yeah.
I can't really fight anymore. I guess that's where I feel like for 4 records I just fought, you know what I mean? And I'd go to these shows and I would try to convey all these things to people, and it's like people didn't seem to like want to listen. Like they would get down with all our hyphy tracks, right?
Right.
But like very seldomly did somebody come up to me like, oh yeah. Like that. Okay, so I'll say this to say that, people hit me up all the time saying my music gets them through, like tours of Iraq. They hit me up saying it helps them getting through divorce, helps them all that.
Yeah.
But no one really hits me up on your government, you know what I mean, your political views. It happens, but very seldomly for the amount of material I've released in that direction. So basically, I'm kind of tired of fighting. I'm tired of beating, this horse, and I'll still go back to it. But to get to my point, I guess, is like, the tracks that help people get through the day are my personal tracks.
Right.
And what I'm feeling right now isn't government, so I'm just speaking about me personally, 12 steps to recovery, my problems. And so if I can speak about my problems and help people get through their problems, then that's the direction I'm going.
Well, some of that too is just evolving as an artist, right? I mean, you can't do the same thing your whole career, or at least if you do, you'd probably be pretty bored with it at a certain point,
Right.
You got to evolve and do new things. So, and you have, I mean, having listened to your stuff over the years, because, if people haven't figured it out, I've interviewed you on various programs quite a few times, and you've definitely, your music has changed. It's not all been the same over the years, certainly. The last time I interviewed you, you had just released, it was kind of a concept piece, I guess you would call it, right? Because it told a story that I don't think really had anything to do with the government.
My last, no, it did, but Black Angels, White Devils.
Yeah, but it was more of a story, or at least that's how I perceived it.
It was a loose-ended story, you know what I mean? But even that had some strong political views, at least in the first portion of the record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, delved off a little bit. But you know what I mean? Night is the Darkest, featuring Rebecca Songbird. That right there is anti-government-ish, but that's like a story. You know what I mean? That's a story track in itself.
Yeah.
Night is the Darkest is more even like an alien track. That's about the invasion of
the Anunnaki invasion.
Yeah.
But it had government-ish tones in the sense of the leaders set us up for this and everything else and whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was a concept piece to a degree. I think 12 Steps to Recovery is more of a concept piece, to be honest with you.
Now, with 12 Steps to Recovery, is it all recorded? Or, because I know you said you're releasing a track a week, is it
10 out of 12.
10 out of 12 are already done? Wow.
I got I technically have enough material to do the whole thing right now. Like, let's say I were to get off right now, like, crazy what's her name comes up these stairs and says, "I heard you talking about
Yeah,
me."
because every time
I got rid of her
Okay,
good.
word.
and got her number.
If she were to dust,
Ooh.
No $750 for me, fella.
Yeah, you get you cashing in on something bigger.
Well, I have to take her out. Little does she know that she can only order off of the Wendy's, value menu.
Well,
We'll see what happens.
I still think you're getting the short end of that stick, bro.
Hopefully she won't slash the tires of my car.
right.
No, he'll slash the tires of your car, man. But,
Well, no, he'll slash the tires of her car. Remember?
We're taking my car.
Yeah. But yeah, if I were to get dusted right now, boom.
Yeah.
I would technically have enough material to release a song a week for 12 weeks, but like, there's just a few songs that I'm like, I don't want that to be this. You know what I mean? I want this more in this direction. So it is what it is, man. It's very personal. It's very dark. You know what I mean? So it's like, dealing with suicide, one of those, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but like one of the lines of the song is, if they knew how I feel on the daily, then the end wouldn't be no news. 28 years, 28 beers, and I cannot drown these blues. You know what I mean? It's like people think they know you, but they don't know you. So if you actually, if anyone actually knew how I felt inside, then if they woke up one day and saw that I offed myself, it wouldn't be shocking.
Right.
It would be expected.
Right.
What was it, John Lennon? What was that from the Plastic Ono band? Was it I found out nobody can feel your own pain. That's one of his lyrics.
Yeah.
That's when he recovered from heroin addiction.
Yeah.
And us as human beings, we're so narcissistic in the sense that we look at somebody else's problems, and if they don't measure up to our own or whatever we view as a problem, we think it's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the weirdest thing. And I've been guilty of it in the past. Like you know what I mean? I feel pain, in my heart right now for what I'm about to say, but I had somebody hit me, and I was younger. I was like 20, 21.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, bro, get over it. You know what I mean? That's what I was telling him. But
Yeah.
he hit me up on some, I'm just not feeling this right now. You know what I mean? She left me for him. And I was like trying to help him out. Like, don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And I think later that day, he hung himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, I was a kid. I woke just, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
I hate to
Jeez.
say this. What is it about, pop? I'm going to use the word pop because it's just not rappers, that they hang themselves. Well,
He wasn't a rapper.
okay.
He was just
Yeah.
a person.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a miserable way to go.
Oh, yeah.
I always think of a gun, using a gun.
Well, I mean, you look at like,
Macho.
a lot of them,
Kurt Cobain.
a lot of them in like rock, it's overdoses because
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
people
Oh,
who
yeah.
who struggled with drugs in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
and then you think that all this fame is going to help fill the hole in
Right.
yourself. And
Right.
I mean, look at Bradley from Sublime. He was a recovered heroin addict,
Right.
and
Chris Cornell.
and he was right on the cusp of breaking their first huge album, the self-titled Sublime album.
Right.
It was monstrous.
Yeah.
I lived in Hawaii when that dropped, and it was everywhere. You
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
go to the beach without hearing Santeria.
Oh yeah.
But before, what was it? A couple weeks before that album dropped, he relapsed and he overdosed on heroin.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, geez, when I was a kid, I was born in the end of the 50s. I can still remember Janis Joplin, then Jimmy,
Yeah.
and then Jim Morrison the next year.
Jim Morrison's
Yeah.
one of my biggest
Oh, yeah.
influences. I love the Doors.
So many of them too died at 27. You know, the 27 Club, which
They
is.
all had a white lighter on them. That's why the white lighter is considered unlucky.
See, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, and Jimi Hendrix all had a white lighter on them when they died at 27, and that's why there are some really suspicious people, and I've met some people like this where if you hand them a white lighter, they won't even use it.
No
'Cause They
kidding.
consider it bad luck.
I never knew about the white lighter.
Yep.
I'll be damned.
The funny part, or not funny, but the weird part is like underneath the wrapping, every letter's white.
Huh. Wow. No kidding.
Yeah, true.
I didn't think the solid color ones were.
Yeah, all the solid color ones are the actual color, but
Okay.
if you buy a Bic that's got like like a design on it, they're all white underneath the wrapping. So
Okay.
You're all using them anyway.
Oh, that's funny. Wow.
They snuck him in.
Well, don't use them if you're 27
Yeah.
and you play music.
Well, you've gotten through.
Unless you want to
You
get
got to
famous.
the other side.
Right.
Truly famous too, like never
Oh, yeah.
forgotten kind of
Legendary.
But
Yeah.
these are the thoughts in my head. Like, there's what really scared me about this last go around is like, I was thinking about, and I was 27 because I just recently turned 28.
Yeah.
And I was like, like, if I'm going to do this, I need to make sure that my family is siphoned the royalties from this new record.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop this record. I'm going to make some videos, and then I'm going to off myself, and I'm going to schedule all these things to drop, and then my mom and my family can get the money.
So you were really thinking about it pretty
Yeah,
deep.
like I don't
Jesus.
know if I was actually going to, that's the thing that scares me. I don't know if I was actually going to do it. When I was sober, it was a thought. When I was drinking, it was a possibility.
Yeah.
And like,
Wow.
like these guys show up to my house, man. I was like off the hinges one night.
3 o'clock in the morning, we drove an hour to come up
He
to it.
put me through me. I'm a big dude for those of you out there who have never seen me before. He put me through his closet door when I walked in his apartment.
Really?
He was so excited to see us. He grabbed a hold of Drew's shirt and shook him through the closet.
He put me through the closet door, and me and Connecticut both written some stuff, and we kind of showed him some of our lyrics after we had gotten together and wrote. And he was like a monkey necklace pendant.
He literally hung off my neck.
Yeah,
Wow.
both of us. He did it to both of us. I'm like,
Wow.
For the record, I was about 2/5 deep.
Of Jack Daniels.
2/5
Oh,
of
okay.
Jack Daniels deep.
Ooh.
And I tell that to people, and they're like, "No, you weren't." And I'm like, "I don't
Yes.
think you
Yeah,
understand
he
me, bro."
was.
When
Yeah.
I go in the paint, I go hard in the paint. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't. That's what scares me. Unfortunately, is I don't. All right. If I went out with my family, I could be responsible, right? I don't want to act a fool in front of my family. I could have
Right.
I could be 2 or 3 beers and be fine. But
Yeah.
but for the most part, it takes a lot of control. It takes a lot of control. It got to the point we're on tour. I tried not drinking. I woke up in hot sweats, cold sweats. You know, like
No kidding. Yeah.
Well,
Like-
it's sweating it out.
yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, but like I don't know, Connecticut. What was one night in Ohio? We had 3 gallons of Jägermeister.
Yeah,
jeez.
we had six of the big like 2-liter bottle-sized bottles of Jägermeister.
Wow.
Along with
That's
extras.
And we were the ones.
We had 40 bottles of Colt 45
Nasty.
Outback, and it was a turn-up night.
We had to go that hard though because the people that were holding the event went so hard. I'm like, I ain't gonna be the pussy here.
Wow.
Like them dudes. Like I'm not saying no one's business, but them dudes go hard in the paint. Them dudes go hard. We got to the party. We got to the show, and it already turned up. You know what I mean? And there was an after party to the actual event.
Wow. How's your livers?
non-existent, I think, would be the best word for it.
Currently holding protest.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Wow.
Drowning the demons. Now shut up.
Jeez.
Seems like you're talking about loneliness, and to an artist, you are essentially lonely because, first of all, you have to go into yourself to create art, and then there's the point you are different than like 99.4% of other people that do conform.
Not only that, but I mean, we're relatively antisocial people anyway. You know, the 3 of us, we've never fit in anywhere. We fit in with each other, and that's about as far as it goes.
And
Yeah.
the crowds that come to our shows, like we attract like-minded people.
You know, we've all struggled with depression. We've all struggled with some serious anger issues, and you know, it's we're not exactly the easiest people to be around. So sometimes, you know,
Right.
loneliness is just kind of the
Have you ever found that, in our society, Western society, the rebel is always like that's the great, like I would use the word paradigm. I can't think of another word.
Yeah.
The rebel in the West. In
James
art,
Dean style,
Yeah,
you know,
movies, everything. So, it's like, that's it.
oh yeah, it's
But
romanticized.
in real life,
Yeah.
people really don't relate to a person who's a rebel very
Yeah.
well. You might as an artist when you're on stage or you're on you're on the screen or something.
Yeah.
But when you're a real rebel, even off, people will. It doesn't make you connect with people.
Yeah.
It's like sandpaper, you know.
Right.
It's we're always moving against the grain, and you know we're always pulling that top layer off, and there's
Exactly.
a lot of people in life fall to the wayside, you know. A lot of friendships get ended over, you know, stuff like that.
Right. When you're
Yeah.
on stage, or if somebody's going to look at you in the screen or something, there's like a glass wall between you. You know,
Yeah.
they can enjoy it then. But when they have to deal with you one-on-one, and
Yeah.
that's really you.
And I mean, you know, it's like, you know, it's like Matt said. It's everybody wants to be a rock star until it comes time to do the things that it takes to be a rock star. It's a
Right.
long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
Yep.
It's
Vanguard,
a
you have to
long way.
My
Yeah.
old man has a saying, and it's everybody wants to be a grown man until it comes time to do grown man stuff.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and that you can apply that to anything. You know, everybody wants to be a rebel till it comes time to do rebel stuff.
Yep.
You know, you hear it in hip hop all the time.
Sure.
You know, I'm real.
Right.
You know, I'm willing to bet probably 50 at the minimum % of the time. You know, you ride with them, you hang out with them, and you're listening to their track going, what? No, that's no. You know, so it's like, you know, people absolutely love the vision, as you said earlier, of that rebel.
Right.
Until it comes time to do rebel stuff.
The reality of it. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, I didn't realize how much he was risking to do this. I didn't realize what this costs to be this, like all this loneliness, all this sadness, all this misunderstanding. You know, you write a track and it's buried metaphors and beautifully crafted, so you get this awesome point across. And you tell this really cool story, and then you put that track out there, and everybody's just bobbing their head to the hook,
Right.
You know, and you're like, "Did you guys miss the whole purpose of this song?" I just told a story about how a man lost his mind and killed his wife, like, and you're sitting here bobbing your head, going, "Dude, that was hot." Like,
Right.
What?
Right.
Hey,
What?
but you've got to have had the phenomenon, the thing where you've written something, because I'm a writer, and then somebody will read it and they'll like it, but what they think it's about is completely different.
Yeah.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it applies to every form of art out there.
Yeah.
They hear something else. Or
Yeah,
read
yeah.
something else.
They hear your track, and or they see your piece of artwork or whatever, and they just immediately, because again, art speaks to the heart, and it is not a direct language. It is not something that, you know, it's not like I wrote something down on a piece of paper.
2 + 2 = 4.
Exactly. It's not as mechanical as mathematics or anything like that. It's very, very
Open to interpretation.
Exactly, and that's incredibly. I personally think that's part of the reason why I love this form of art so much, because I could be sitting here, but it's also frustrating. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, I could be sitting here writing something right now, and I'm trying to tell this really intricate, played out story, and to somebody else, it's an awesome chorus to yell out the window at their friends as they're driving by.
Right.
And it's just, you know, something that I'm entirely like, and again, as an artist and knowing what the image was when I started, it's infuriating.
Yeah.
You know, but on that same note, I mean, I'm sure Davers, I know Davers run into it. I know
Yeah.
Connecticut's run into it. You know, it's the same thing.
Which is why I let go. You know what I mean? Because I stopped fighting. You know what I mean? I'm like,
You can't control your
can't
audience.
can't control what
Yep.
you know what I mean. So like I would try to force this down the throat, and it's like I'm going against the stream at this point. So like I'm just gonna do the best I can. You know what I mean, to express myself, to get this therapy out, and then I'm gonna make the catchiest hook I can. And like, you know, in the past I used to kind of, you know, dabble back and forth, this, that, whatever. Now it's like I don't care. I'm going for the catchiest hook I can. I'm gonna get you hooked, and then we're gonna rock. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do this. I'm making music now. Now, for anyone listening to this that listens to mainstream hip hop, just get that out of your head completely. But I'm crafting this in a direction now to where like we can finally be that crossover that I've wanted to be the whole time. Or we can do the Juggalo shows, we can do the metal shows, and if we got to do these club shows, if that's where we're getting booked for the night, we can do these club shows.
Yeah.
You know, like for instance, the first song off 12 Steps to Recovery, Bad For Me. You know, that could be done in a club, but it's lyrical and it's rap and it's not soft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can still bring the energy that K-Daver has become famous for
Yeah.
to a song like that, even though it's not necessarily the hard-hitting drums and guitars and, the craziness that we've become known for. So it's a different direction, but we're still keeping to the core philosophy of the people who came to a Cadaver show came to move. And if you didn't come to move, you're at the wrong show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be the opening line, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen you guys. I mean, I haven't seen you guys live in a long time, but I was very impressed when I saw you guys. We're actually we're almost out of time, because Fridays we wrap up a little bit early because at 6 p.m. Granite State of Mind. I don't know if you guys have heard that show. Rob Azevedo hosts it, and they have local bands coming and play. So Fridays we wrap up a little early, so they have time to get in here and set up. But before we wrap up, please let people know, where can they find this when it comes out.
12 Steps to Recovery, man.
Yeah.
Go to cadaver.com. You can go on facebook.com/cadaver603. You hit me up on the SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/cadaver.
Yeah.
Instagram, all that stuff. Basically, this is going to be, I'm taking it back a little bit. So 12 Steps to Recovery is going to be a song a week starting next week. So for 12 weeks,
Cool.
you're going to get a song. And then so the song is free with the possibility of donation. And basically, I'm giving people, I did this in the past, but I'm kind of putting it back in people's hands to where if they appreciate it, they can rock with it. And it also doesn't make me confined to anything. And then we got a few things on deck right now. We got the 4-5 tour, the East Coast run coming in July. We got Kokomo, July 7th. We're gonna be rocking that. Got a few more shows being built around that just aren't official yet. Then we got the fall tour, man. We got a few options on deck right now. We got Canada on the table, which is literally insane. Like, if I'm thinking about it now, man, going up to Canada, rocking those shows, I'm like, man, it's gonna be out of this world.
First time out of the country?
No, I've been out of the country, but not as
as a performer. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I know somebody just did a tour in Canada, and he said the fans are just crazy because, like, if you're from America, they automatically put you on a pedestal.
Sweet.
You know
That's
what I mean?
very
Which
cool.
I'm totally
Well,
down
we're
with.
talking about English-speaking Canada, then. The
Oh,
Quebecois are a little different.
I'm sure.
A lot
He
different.
told me.
When you speak French.
He told me they got a lot of extras up there too.
There you go.
Well, that
There you
goes
go.
with both parts of Canada.
Did you guys have anything you wanted to add in too before we wrap up?
Daver, what's that show that we're doing in Hampton Beach this August?
Oh, man, God,
that's
yeah,
gonna be
thank
a
you.
2-day festival.
No, thank you for
Oh,
telling
wow.
me.
On the
I almost
beach.
forgot about that. Yo, Lethal Weekend, hit it up. It's in August. We're doing day one of the festival. You can go to my.com to get all the details. I believe tickets are $10. We're doing the show. The day we're performing is with Low Key. God forgive me for messing this name up. Allah Zuliu.
Allah Zul Elu.
Yeah,
means
yeah.
long live evil in Arabic.
Oh,
Basically,
There you go.
It's AXE. Them boys are blowing up right now. God bless them.
Big in the Juggalo and horrorcore scene right there.
And while
Cool.
we're just ripping them off, I got Wilmot next Friday. It's a BYOB event. You know what I mean? So if you bring a fifth of Jack, you can be my hype man for one song.
Whoa.
wow. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Hey,
Taking my position.
pay.
Got sold out for
Challenged
whiskey.
your job, bro.
And if you're a stalker, just show up with some cash.
Preferably between $500 and $750.
I've gotten
That's-
bigger
that's
since
right.
then. I'm gonna need the cash and a fifth of Jack.
We also take credit cards, so bring 4 or 5
Hey,
of those
yo.
too.
And Bitcoin.
Yeah, yo,
Bitcoin.
hey, yo, back to
Bitcoin.
that Bitcoin. What was going on with that girl that wanted to pay me in Bitcoin? What's up with that?
Yeah.
Well, we'll give you the information after the show.
All right, word up.
We don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah, we'll let you guys work that out off the air. Hey, guys, thank you very much. This has been great. That went by quick. Can't believe how fast that went by. And John Hopwood, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
We love you,
for having us on, man.
603.
All right, thanks, guys. And Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon. I'll be back on Monday, 4 p.m. right here on WMNH 95.3. If you missed any part of today's show, it will be up on WMNHradio.org in just a little bit. And don't forget, Granite State of Mind coming up next, 6 p.m., hosted by the great Rob Azevedo. And I don't know what he has planned, but it's always good stuff, so stick around for that here on WMNH 95.3, downtown Manchester's radio station. Talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.